Do you ever wonder how some people can seem to get or achieve whatever they want, whenever they want? Do you wish you had what they have? In this episode of the Wellness Champion podcast, we're going to reveal our secret to unlocking abundance in your life.
Welcome to the Wellness Champion podcast, sponsored by Healthy Transformation Nation. We believe that your health and wellness is determined by your own self-care more than anything else. Join us for each episode when we discover and uncover the keys to self-care in today's complex culture. We enjoy helping others discover the best ways to be well. We'll be visiting the basics for self-care and ongoing wellness that enables you to not only survive, but to thrive. On the Wellness Champion podcast, we'll be exploring the fundamentals of intentional breathing, your hydration, nutrition, intentional movement, and your wellness mindset. The Wellness Champion podcast is your time for a mindset reset.
I'm Bill Bowman, and I'm with Nikilette Bowman. And today we're going to be revealing our secret to unlocking abundance in your life. Nikilette, when was the time that you were able to utilize gratitude to unlock abundance in your life?
Well, it was you, actually. When I was going through cancer treatment back in 2009, I was engaged at the time, and I had my children living with me at the time as well. And I was really having a hard time physically from the chemotherapy treatments that I was going through. And by the second round of the chemotherapy appointment, my relationship was kind of disintegrating at that point, with threatening to leave me and things like that. And so I felt really alone, and I felt like, what am I going to do? I knew that the relationship wasn't going to work, but I just was feeling so like overwhelmed, alone, and not knowing what to do. And you and I were really good friends at that time, and you were so gracious in offering to assist me on my chemotherapy appointments. And during that time when I was going through chemotherapy, I didn't have a port put into my body, which that's kind of what they do as standard now. I was actually getting the injection once every 3 weeks into my veins manually. So it was very painful. And to have you by my side as my friend was huge. It was the support that I needed. And then over time, we became better friends, and then we became in a relationship. Now, I always wanted a really strong relationship that was based in love, but partnership too, like having a partner, having a lover, a best friend. I had everything in my mind. And I remember my father telling me a story, and he said to me when I was 12 years old, he said, if you have any hesitation, if you're ever going to get married and there's any type of red flag or hesitation, he said, I don't care if you're at the altar, run. And I remember that story so well in my mind. And so I had very high standard for what I wanted in a partner, a life partner. And so I really stuck true. I could see it in my mind, but every relationship I really had previous to that, it just wasn't there. It didn't come about. So when I started just living my life and being grateful for the fact that I was alive from the chemotherapy appointments, that I was alive to have a great friend, I was alive to experience seeing my children grow up, gratitude started seeping in at that point. And then my relationship with you came into play. And when that happened, I literally manifested exactly the person that I had always wanted to be with in my life, which is my best friend, partner. And it's funny because partner at the time meant like we were partners in life. I didn't even think business. So sometimes the things that we have in our mind for being grateful for all of the things that we truly desire and want and our goals in life, it may actually be even more than you could possibly imagine, which is what I received in our relationship and our marriage. Having a business partner, a partner in life, a lover, a friend. And when I'm talking about a friend, I'm not saying, hey, but I'm talking about like we laugh together. We have so much fun together. And literally every morning when I wake up, I sit in such deep gratitude that I get to wake up next to you every day, because you are everything I have ever wanted in a life partner. And I can say before that, my relationships as an adult did not emulate anything that I truly desired. So I didn't settle. I didn't settle. Now it could have settled, and there were relationships that I could have been married, and I decided no, because that little thing inside of my head that my father gave me, that little nugget of wisdom, always stuck with me. And I knew what I truly, truly desired and wanted in my life. And just being grateful for being alive and being grateful for having Bill just in my life as my friend, things were able to blossom from that point forward. And so that's why I'm able to sit in gratitude every day for what I have in my relationship with you. So that's really, it's amazing what can happen when you aren't forcing something, when you allow a relationship to naturally happen. And for me, friendship was the basis. That was the strong basis of our relationship, is that we were friends first for a very long time.
Yeah, we were. And I think that we can use this example that you have in gratitude in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think the same thing applies no matter what it is that you seek, no matter what it is you desire, what it is you want to achieve, that when you begin in gratitude, it opens up that world for you. I know that applies in business, and it applies in just every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll use a really weird example of, like, I don't know, going to the shopping center, going to the grocery store, right, and being in gratitude for the parking space that you got. Being in gratitude when you didn't get the parking space near the store, being in gratitude for the fact that you're able to walk.
Yes.
Or if in the case that you're not able to walk, that you're able to mobilize yourself
right,
to the store, into that, from your car into the store. So it applies in so many things. And when you begin that journey of being in gratitude, everything just seems to come easier.
It does.
It's amazing. And so we have a few suggestions.
Yes.
Like 3 things that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas.
Yes.
For getting yourself into that realm of gratitude,
mm-hmm,
that place where you really do, where you simply are living in that abundance that you manifest through your gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I know is that we've both done
mm-hmm,
is a gratitude journal.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Gratitude journal is great.
Now, for some of you that might struggle with journaling like I did, I did have a hard time with journaling. I decided to do something different with my journal. So I got a journal that has really thick paper in it, and it has little grid marks on it. And the reason why I got this was because I was prompted by Little Fox Cafe. Shelby is the owner, and she had shown a way to make journaling fun and make it personal in the sense of how you want it to look. So I decided to embark on that because I was having a hard time with it anyway. So I wanted to make it fun. And when I look at it, it gets me excited. It gets me like, I want to be here. I want to share what I am actually feeling and thinking and grateful for. So there are so many options that you can choose. You can use washi tape, you can use stickers. There's tons of different colors of washi tape that you can use. You can also use stencils if you really want to get creative. You can use stencils for outlining and then color it in, and you can use watercolors.
So for those of us who don't know, what's washi tape?
Washi tape is a tape that can have sparkles. It can have hearts or whatever. It's just a decorative.
So decorative tape.
Decorative tape, yeah.
And you just kind of put that in there to underline things or to make
or
it fun.
highlight, just to make it fun. You can do whatever you want with it. Or if you even want to take a picture, you can use the washi tape because it's pretty and decorative, and stick it on there and have a picture. You can even put pictures in your journal of someone that you're grateful for. There are so many things that you can do with a gratitude journal. It doesn't just have to be all of your thoughts. You can really draw pictures, and that's where you can use watercolor. Some people even use watercolor and water to actually draw on there and make a pretty background, and then write a name of someone that they're grateful for and all the attributes underneath what they think.
This is a great idea. My gratitude journal is just simply, I just write down the words. I'm a writer. I just simply write it out. But that sounds kind of fun too. I might try a couple of things.
It is fun. And if you really want to venture into it a little bit more, you can also use lettering, learning how to write in a specific way. Now that's for the craftier individuals that really like to make things super pretty and crafty. You can learn to letter in a certain way. So a gratitude journal can be exactly how you want it to be. It's not what everybody else thinks it should be. It should be what you envision it to be, because it's yours.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's so much fun too.
Awesome. Good. So now, let's say that you start a gratitude journal.
Okay.
What would be kind of a good thing to do? Give yourself a gratitude challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Each day for even if you want to try it out for a week.
Yeah.
Just give yourself a challenge for a week. Each day, write down 5 things that you are grateful for.
Yes.
And no repeats.
Right. No repeats during the week. Right.
So basically you're coming up with, if you're doing it for 7 days, then you're coming up with 35 things you're grateful for.
Right.
And believe me, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start flowing, you'll just get into it.
Yeah. I find that at first, when I first started doing this, I would think of the basics, okay, I'm grateful for, my husband, grateful for my mom, I'm grateful for my kids, I'm grateful for, my home, and the simple thing. And then I started okay, so what else am I grateful for? And I really started to dig into the ideas of what I was grateful for. And it really were the things that I kind of just took for granted. Just the simple things in life, like my breath.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Agreed.
And then when I started focusing in on and honing in on the simple things, the things that if they weren't happening, I wouldn't be alive, basically. Yeah. It really brought a lot of perspective, and it really deepened my gratitude for the fact that I don't have to think about my breath. It just does it on its own to sustain. Intentional breathing is different, but just the regular breathing I'm talking about, just to help me function. Yeah. Something simple like that. We do it every day. How many breaths a day do we take? Thousands of breaths a day. Are we thinking about how grateful we are just for the breath? So that's where it really, you start off with for me, I start off with the big obvious things. And then I was well, what else is there? And that's when I started to really dig in.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done the same thing where I've gone from everywhere from, I'm grateful to be alive, which is a big thing, to just simply, I'm grateful for the comfortable couch, comfortable sofa that I'm sitting on while I write in this journal.
Yes.
And it can be anything and everything.
Exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I think is also perhaps a good idea is to set aside a time for yourself to do that. Whether you're doing giving yourself a challenge or not.
Right.
If you have a gratitude journal, then set aside that me time for yourself each day. and it could be, for most people, it works if you do it at the same time every day.
I agree.
Either in the morning or the evening is for
Yeah.
most people, but it can be any time as long as you can able to set aside that time for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, for some, I know I was a single mom, so for a lot of moms in the morning, it's like if you don't get up early and have that time in the morning, it can get really hectic and then the day gets going. So I do recommend early in the morning, but for some reason, life happens. And sometimes in the morning, it doesn't work. So if you are somebody that has children or whatever, you have to get the day going, you can always take that break at lunch. Take a break at lunch, whether you work at home in an office or you're out and about doing errands. Literally just go home, give yourself that 20 minutes. It's just 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be hours of time to write down what you're grateful for. And now if we're just talking about the challenge, there's only 5 things. That would probably take maybe 5 minutes to do that. And that is an investment in you.
I remember one time that I took a break at lunch and I did some gratitude journaling. And my first thing on the list was I was grateful for the fact that I didn't have to go out and hunt down the ingredients of the salad that I was eating. I didn't have to go out and
Pick
harvest
it up
and
at all.
pick it.
Yeah.
That I'd already made it, and there it was, and it was ready for me to eat.
I love that. Yeah, something simple
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's just sitting in gratitude. And that was a word that I really focused on last year, was gratitude. And it still seeps into this year as well, because it's an ongoing process. But really the focus, and it really made a huge difference. And that's why the journal is just great.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, so we've talked about, creating a gratitude journal, giving yourself a challenge,
Yes.
like come up
Absolutely.
with 5 things every day, 5 different things every day of the week. And here's another one. How about expressing your gratitude to others? Tell someone else how grateful you are for them.
Yes.
It could be something they've done or just appreciation for who they are in your life. And what they mean to you.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because when I think about my son lives in Wisconsin, and I haven't seen him since 2019. And he's living his life. He's 31 years old. He's an adult. He's doing his thing. But when he calls me and I get to speak with him, I tell him every time, I said, thank you so much for calling me. I really appreciate you taking time out to give me a call. Yeah. Because even though he's my son, there's no obligation for him to do that. He's doing that because he wants to do that. He wants to conversate with me. And I am so grateful for that.
That's so perfect, because I love that you mentioned that, because a lot of us parents, we might get a little aggravated or, just bothered if our kids don't call us, if our kids don't contact us as often as we want.
Right.
And then you need to think about, well, how are you expressing yourself back to them in terms of that happening?
Right.
Are you really telling them how much you appreciate them doing that? So, yeah.
And the other part about it too is I am so grateful for my son. And if I don't hear from him, I'm going to give him a call. And I'm going to say, hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. Call me when you can.
Yeah.
Not call me back ASAP, but call me when you can. When you have time and you can call me, I'm here, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah. Because I also know that is something that can happen, is that we're thinking like, well, we're the parents, they should call us, type of thing. It's like, no. It's a two-way street, because it's a relationship with my child. So I really love when he calls, but if I don't hear from him, that I'm going to make the call, and I just wait. Right.
That's perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
That's being in gratitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty clear why it seems like some people have everything they want. It's because they're grateful for all they have right now.
Absolutely.
Being thankful and appreciating all that you have is the first step in gaining everything you want.
Absolutely.
Concentrating on what you don't have right now won't help you achieve it. In fact, it'll only amplify your feelings of lack, missing out,
absolutely,
loss. So when actually there is this better way, it's always be grateful for what you have, and you'll find that your ability to manifest your goals, dreams, and desires will become much more achievable.
Absolutely. It's amazing when you put forth the effort of the gratitude as opposed to what I don't have. Like what you said, it's what I do have, what I have in my life, and being absolutely thankful, grateful, and appreciating that. And as opposed to, well, I don't have that. Everyone says the grass is always greener. It really isn't. The grass is green where you live if you create that, if you see that and appreciate what you have.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. I mean, for many of us, myself included, I mean, there have been times in my life where I have just simply, thought, oh, it would be so much better if this or if that, and not even thinking about or being in gratitude for the things that I do have right now.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference
It
when you
does.
get into that mindset.
It does.
Yeah. Yep.
For more about gratitude, go to htnforyou.com. That's our online community for your wellness and self-care lifestyle. So go to htnforyou.com, join our community, and share with us your top 5 reasons for being grateful today.